Hello and welcome to one more video. This time we're going to be talking about the new Hunter Legendary, the other one, other than Oblivitron. 7 mana 5/6, she's VEREESA Windrunner, the sister of Sylvanas Windrunner, with Battlecry equipped for Idao, the Star's Fury. Okay, then what is for Idao, the Star's Fury? Well, this is for Idao, the Star's Fury. It's a weapon with 2 attack and 3 durability that reads after your hero attacks, gain spell damage +2 this turn. Now, the card was revealed and I started to think about it, and if you're trying to play this card as a finisher, don't. I've tried to think, and every time that I try to think about playing the card as a finisher, it's just better to not play it. So I commented with a friend, and my friend was like, no, but you can play the card and you can play Kill Command, and if you have a beast on the board, it deals 7 damage. Well, here's the thing, right? If you have beast on the board and Kill Command in your hand, well, you're already pretty much set. And if you're not playing VEREESA Windrunner, what is going to happen is you still have mana for something called Hero Power, which actually puts back the 2 damage that you would gain with the spell damage after attacking with the weapon. And then you go like, okay, but then there's the weapon. Well, if we are not playing her, you still have other 8 mana, so you can still play a weapon like Eagle, like the Eagle Bow, or like the Eagle Horn Bow, or the 2 mana weapon that gains +1 durability when you have a beast on the board. And since we're already talking about having a beast on the board, that weapon would also be, guess what? A weapon with 2 attack and 3 durability. And guess what's the other thing? If you don't have a beast on the board, you still have 6 mana, which means you can still play a cheap beast on the board, then your Kill Command can actually deal its full damage. But wait, there's more! You still have mana for Kill Command, the second one, that's always in your hand because you're a fucking hunter. So, yeah. If you try to think about VEREESA Windrunner being a finisher, it doesn't work. There's better things to do. Then you may ask me, okay, but what about playing this card for value? Well, if you're playing this card for value, then you have to look at the cards that benefit from spell damage, and those would be removal spells. So okay, you could have the spell damage to benefit cards like Baited Arrow, being able to improve the amount of damage that would activate your overkill. It's interesting. Playing multi-shot is interesting because now you would be dealing 5 damage to 2 creatures. Improving explosive shot would be interesting because then it becomes a little meteor. But then you consider, if you just play a minion with spell damage +1, you're already doing all of those stuff with a minion that's potentially cheaper and still allows you to play the more costly spells. You can't play VEREESA and play a Baited Arrow in the same turn. Hunters don't have preparation, but if you play just a Kobold Geomancer, you could do that and still get the overkill from the Baited Arrow and the 5/5 on the board. If you just have a Kobold Geomancer, the basic card, on your board, well, then Explosive Shot is already a mini meteor. It's already dealing 3 damage to adjacent minions and a bunch of damage to the minion you're targeting with. So the thing here is, you only play VEREESA for value in a deck if you have to argue that you need this spell damage guaranteed for many turns. Because usually if you only need it for 1 or 2 turns, you can just play 1 or 2 cards with spell damage. And they will cost less, they will give you a more flexibility to do stuff, and if these spells that deal damage are so important to you, well, guess what? You can do these turns a lot earlier than waiting until turn 8 or 9 after you played VEREESA. So I don't know. Like I'm not saying that Verisa is a bad card. All I'm saying is I feel like she's a missing piece. I feel like Verisa is part of something that's going to be more elaborate in Hunter. Just like Spirit Singer Umbra didn't see play in Ngoro, did see very little experimentation in Knights of the Frozen Throne because we had the meat wagon. But then when Spirit Singer Umbra met the cube in Kobolds and Catacombs, that was love at the first sight. That was like that turned Umbra into a must craft, basically, for decks like Cube Lock. That now Umbra would allow you to do 25 damage in one turn. So I feel that's what Verisa is going to be. Like Verisa is a card that I don't know if hunters get a little spell that can go face, but is very upgraded by spell damage, then Verisa starts making a lot of sense, right? Or if there's something like a creature that at the end of their turn, if you have spell damage, add all the spell damage in health and attack to this creature. I don't know, something like that has to happen so Verisa becomes a relevant part of the puzzle. Right now though, I feel like usually you can do better by not playing her. Well, this is my review so far, with all I know so far. Maybe with another card that's about to be revealed next week or even this week, everything that I said today might be completely wrong. I still think she has a lot of potential. That's what I want you to finish the video with. Thank you all for watching and see you guys next time.